Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US penny stock highlights here on Share Talk for Thursday, the 3rd of September. Starting off with Applied Genetic Technologies, and a classic setup here, rising trend channel that's been in place since the early part of the year. We've had a gap through the 50-day moving average, a break of the near-term resistance line, that's versus $5.36, and at least if we get an end-of-day close above the 50-day moving average at $5.65, and while we remain above that, looking for a top of February price channel target as high as $8.40, hopefully by the end of next month. Only back below $5, really killing the idea of a continued improvement in the shares. Next up, a stock which is new to the penny stocks here. We've got Concrete Pumping Holdings. We've got the break through the 200-day moving average, the second one over the last few weeks, also bouncing off the 50-day moving average in the floor of this rising trend channel from back in March. While we're above the 200-day line at, let's say, $4, we're looking for a top of channel target from March up to $6. That could happen over the next 4 to 6 weeks, only back below the floor of the rising trend channel. Currently $3.65, really delaying the upside scenario for concrete pumping. On to another stock which looks like it's making some decent moves, Dynagas. Here we've got this rather strange combination of a falling trend channel, but then the bounce way above the 200-day moving average at $2.17, bouncing basically off the old resistance there from October last year. So let's say that's $2.40. And while we're above $2.40, after the gap through the falling channel that we've got, we could hit as high as the top of the rising trend channel from February, currently pointing up to the $5 area. Target there, I suppose, over the next 4 to 6 weeks. If you're cautious on the shares, maybe wait for an end-of-day close above the 50-day moving average at $3.20. Next up, a stock which we have looked at before and is coming up with the goods for the bulls at the moment, FTS International. Here we can hopefully see in a minute when this chart refreshes that we've had a decent break for the stock. We had the one-day bear trap for the shares, which was pointed out the last time I looked at the shares. So basically breaking that resistance line there from the beginning of June around $4.20 was the start of the break higher. End of day close today above the 50-day moving average at $6.18 could take us up to the 200-day line, currently running through $11, and that's something that hopefully will happen over the next 4 to 6 weeks. GTX is the symbol code, and Garrett Motion is the stock. Here we've got, I suppose, a double bottom versus the March-April support that the shares had, so let's call that around the $2.70 level. While we're above $2.70, we could move to fill this gap down that we've had, possibly up to initially the bottom of the gap, last month's gap at $4.50, and then after that up to $5.70 plus, which is the 50-day moving average. So reasonable risk reward in terms of where we are at the moment on the daily chart of Garrett Motion. Next stock is one that is probably as intriguing as its name, Muscle Maker. We had the breakout there, false breakout in terms of it being a bull trap through the old June resistance, and now we've bounced off the uptrend line from April at around the $2.20 level. Above that, on an end-of-day close basis, we're looking to retrace and retest $3.85 or $3.85, which is the August peak for shares of Muscle Maker. On to a traditional name next, Macy's, and here we'll see that the shares basically bouncing off the floor of this rising trend channel from March. A lot of companies obviously having that particular setup. The latest fillip to the bulls has been a break of the June resistance line, currently at $6.95, and while we're above that, looking to the 200-day moving average just shy of $10, and about after that up to the $11.50 level, which is the top of the rising trend channel from March. Time frame on that as soon as the end of, I suppose, October would be a fair time frame for that on Macy's. Stock which is rather less well known than Macy's, RPC Inc. Here you can see that the shares have tried to build a base at the floor of this rising trend channel from the end of February. Support there around the $2.95 level, and while we're above that on an end-of-day close basis, looking for the 200-day moving average just shy of $3.50 as the initial target over the next couple of weeks. Best case scenario by the end of the month or going into October up to $5, which is the 2020 price channel top. Next stock is one that is Electrameccanica, and here we've got this rather strange consolidation. Neither here nor there in terms of where it is in the range. I suppose midway in terms of the May to July rally that we've had. It looks like a falling wedge, and it looks like we bounced off that. Initial target up to the 50-day moving average at $3.14, but an end-of-day close above the 50-day line could open up the possibility of a top of 2019 price channel target, currently pointing as high as $7 by the end of October. Just a couple of stocks to go now, and the first one is Direxion. Here we've got a very narrow falling wedge pattern on the daily chart. That's normally good news in terms of it's indicating that the volatility has dried up totally, and that means that we're favouring the bulls. End of day close above the top of the wedge here at $5.50 should be enough to give us the initial target here at $6.40 plus at the 50-day moving average, and the best case scenario the next couple of months up towards $10, which is the top of the broadening triangle from back at the end of May. Last stock is one that's behaving itself quite nicely. TRACON Pharmaceuticals. The reason for saying that is the gap through the wedge, and then the clearance of the 200-day moving average. That's currently at $2.40. Above that on an end-of-day close basis, we're looking up towards the $5 level, which is the top of a rising trend channel from January. So everything to play for there at TRACON Pharmaceuticals. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.